episode 10. Here we go. And we have the one and only Ms.Ericka Evans here today. Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Hi, doll.
How are you? Lovey.
So this is like years in the making that I feel like I talk to everybody through social media and I never actually meet them. So it's nice to actually meet you in person.
It's the first time.
Put a name to the face, right?
All the time we talk.
I know. So we have a lot to talk about today.
We do. Let's get to it.
Let's get rolling.
Yeah.
So, who is Ericka Evans as a person?
Ericka is a sweet woman that has unconditional love for whoever until I can't.
I love that because that's me too.
That's just who I am. I'm an amazing woman of recovery. I'm a mother. I do a lot in the community. I work in the entertainment industry. I work for recovery. So I do a lot. I'm completely busy.
Well, you're always running around all over the place. So, yeah, I would say so. I mean, every time I look at your page, you're somewhere else.
Yes.
And you're running the street team now.
Yes, I am.
So,
for Exit Fame, yeah. I am the president of the street team. Very grateful for that. My son, he's an entertainer. He
keeps you busy.
Busy.
So busy.
Yeah, he's 11, but he's been in the industry for about 7 years now.
That's awesome.
He's been dancing since he was a baby.
Very talented.
Thank you.
And so are you.
Thank you.
Because the both of you have done plenty of things together, and I am just blown away because you don't see that often with parents and their children. Yeah. And I like that.
Yeah, I definitely take it really serious what my son wants to do. And I have 4 kids. I've been, struggling with addiction, and I've had to earn that. So it's really important for me to be that mom and be present.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you have 4 children. Are they younger than Justin or older than Justin?
They're older.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's the baby.
That's my baby.
And he's getting all the attention right now, right?
All the attention because they're in college, so it's all him.
Awesome.
And then I have 2 other boys. I have step kids, but they're my kids. I don't like to say the step word.
No,
I don't do that.
It's not necessary when you feel that love and bond with them. You know.
So I have 3 boys in my house, and they run me.
Well. And you have a boyfriend.
Oh my God, my fiance. Yeah, that's my baby.
So that's 4.
Yeah.
You got 4 men telling you what to do.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I don't like it. I'm outnumbered. I can't wear certain things. I'm always getting... Oh, I have to get approved to wear certain things. I'm not the type to show skin.
Same.
But I do like to wear tighter clothes. But I have to get approved before I leave the house by my kids.
Okay.
And my fiance.
All right. I mean, I think that's just part of being supportive and caring,
I love it. It feels good.
Good.
And security.
Good.
Yeah.
How long have you had clean?
Coming up on 12 years.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's a long time. Oh, my God.
Did you ever think that it would get this far?
Marissa, no.
Because I know I've seen some of the stuff in other interviews you've done early in recovery, and you then and you now, I feel like it's the same person, but it's such a different perspective.
I changed without my permission, if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
God definitely put people in my life. I was one of those that was in and out of treatment. Literally, I would go in to eat, shower, find an outfit because I never worked. I wasn't one of those. So I would just do what I wanted to do. Would get into fights. I was an angry girl. I had a lot of shit with me.
You were scrapping down on the detox?
Absolutely. Jail, detox, the streets. I didn't care who you were. Yeah.
You were letting it all out.
Yeah. I was very hurt.
Letting it all out.
Yeah.
Got you to where you are today.
Right.
So you got to go through it.
Yeah.
You got to feel the emotions and go through everything.
Yeah.
And kind of just work your way back into or obtain what you want,
Right.
I feel like a lot of women that we work with, especially within this home, don't necessarily want to have to go through detox or go through treatment. They just want to jump right into sober living, and it's you can't do that. You got to go through the motions.
I'm huge against that because to me that's control. You want to control your process, and when you control your process at early, recovery, you're gonna fail. Unfortunately, there's some people that do good with it, but it's not consistent. You need to be taught how to live again. Sometimes you've been using how long, and then you think you can come in and just do it on your own. No, you got to rebrand yourself.
There's all of these organizations and companies for reasons with experts working within that have the background knowledge because they've either gone through it and have X amount of years to provide that knowledge, or they've helped someone get to that point. So all of the professionals that are in this industry, I feel, market in such a way that it should want others like who are in early recovery or getting into detox, right?
Yes.
To follow the same path.
Yeah.
Not necessarily pathway of recovery, but getting into the steps of detox, CSS,
Yes.
halfway, sober home,
Yes.
things like that.
Yes.
I feel like if there are people who we see like you, 12 years, you know, who've gone through the same exact motions, I'll say, it happens for a reason. Right. Nobody might want to do it. Yeah. But they got to, you know.
Yeah. And for me, it's more rewarding because, you're being taught thorough. You get to detox, you're sleeping, and you're going to like what? One meeting out of the 7 days, yeah. Right? And, if you are only drinking alcohol, it's harder because they only give you like 4 or 5 days, not even now. When I was in detoxes, you got 7 full days. Absolutely. And they, put you right into CSS, and then that's what, 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks.
They go up to 30.
Yeah, and now it's like some places are 2 weeks.
But that's the insurance game, though.
And it's not okay.
No, because we'll see when I used to work, and I won't say where we used to work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we both worked there. There was the program of detox, which was 7 to 10 days, right? If that, right. Then they would go up to 30, I believe, 1 days on certain insurance plans to let them stay for quote unquote CSS residential level of care. And you would see these women be like, I've been here for 30 days now. I want out. And then the caseworkers and the clinicians and maybe like the floor managers that they would have would be like, you should really stay. Why should you stay if you're feeling ready after 2 weeks or 3 weeks? But I think deep down, and I'll play devil's advocate on this because there is probably pros and cons to why they say it. But I think deep down why they say you should stay, not only to get the benefits of the insurance, but it's probably because they know if they walk out too soon, they're going to be walking back in, starting at 0 and going back.
Absolutely. Because they want what's called comfort. They just want to feel comfortable. The second they get in a detox, you have staff telling you what to do, the routine, it's all laid out.
No one likes being told what to do.
One smoke break at 7:30 a.m. And then you have to go, to group at 8, and then you got to clean your room, and then you got to go to another group. They don't want to hear that.
I loved groups. I mean, not that I was in the groups because I'm not going to say I haven't been in the groups. I went through a behavioral health program for anxiety, depression, and PTSD. So yes, I was in groups of a similar kind. Mm-hmm. But when I was running groups at the facility, I loved it because I felt like that's the time you got to know your clients the most. Right. And where they're with their peers, sometimes they feel safer to open up because there's like-minded people that have gone through like-minded situations or similarities that they may have. I almost felt like that's where we got the most information of how to help the clients was in group. Yeah. Did you ever feel like that?
So in the beginning I did, but like I didn't pay attention. I was one of those that was like, I just wanted to eat and sleep. So I was forced to go to group. But then there was a particular gentleman that I heard and a commitment, and it like, I just heard his message. I said, that's my story. So my ears started perking. Yeah. And I was like, and it's unfortunate that you'll sit there and just, people are just rambling to you until you hear your story. You're like, oh, me too.
Something's got to click. The light bulb's got to go off. You got to like resonate with what you're hearing. Yeah. And then when you find that person you can mesh with, especially within going to a facility, you find your person. Like a lot of the girls in the unit that I would have, even though at the time I was an RSS at this place, like would come to me and I'm like, I really can't do much besides take you to your like smoke break and to lunch and things like that. Yeah. But like they would come to me or they would have their one specific favorite, even if it wasn't their clinician. And it was like, all right. They would have their one favorite person. And like even at the PHP, they would go to the one specific person if they felt comfortable. And a lot of times, like I spoke about before, that person was me. And I didn't have the knowledge of giving you therapeutic advice, although I would try not to. It would say like my experience and my, what I've gone through. But I think especially like the girls that come in here, they'll bond with each other over one over the other. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you got to hear it from someone else, feel comfortable. And once you click, you click. And I hope that a lot of people, once it clicks, they take it and run with it.
Right. And I also want to talk about people that work in the field that aren't in recovery, like shout out to you guys too, because you have the compassion. You know, you might not have the education, but you're there to be a support, and like people really do need to respect them just as much as somebody in recovery. And I do find a lot that, you know, patients will be like, well, you don't understand, you're not in recovery, it doesn't matter. Dealing with you and your stuff are a lot as it is, so you should respect the same person that has no knowledge because they're trying to give you compassion. Absolutely. Which people don't have. You know, they don't have the patience or the compassion.
A lot of people don't have common sense either, so
they don't, and you know that's your shit. But if I shout out to them that don't have the experience because you're giving them, you know, unconditional love and trying to understand.
So I really didn't have a lot of experience when I got into the industry. I had my family's background. I knew what I saw. I knew what I witnessed as a child. I knew hearing my dad's stories. I knew witnessing his brothers and my aunt. This house, I've said it before, is named after my aunt. So, you know, I've seen, right? And I would see my cousins walking around high. I would notice my aunt, you know, telling me, I said last week about a bracelet that she thought had ballerinas everywhere. They were like snowmen and different things. And like, I knew early on there was a different dynamic, but that was my experience, right? And then I had the mental health side growing up with all of the anxiety, depression, PTSD, shit like that. But then I started educating myself. So I went through, and not that I really did much with it because it wasn't the direction I wanted to go in, but I went through Recovery Coaching Academy. That's great, but it's to a point, you know? Right. And then I started doing the classes at North Shore for the drug and alcohol counseling. And that's what opened my eyes to the psychological aspect of it, the actual background of the dynamics of the family and like, you know, geographical wise, things like that. It really kind of put me in tune with, holy shit, this is more than just a choice. It's not a choice, it's a disease. Right. The mental health is a disease that leads you up to the choice of using. Exactly. It took me a long time to understand that. So I try to educate as much as I can. Like I'm always watching different things on like TikTok and YouTube and things about how to like further educate yourself, the new things that are out there, new medications, stuff like that. But I feel like where I got my core is North Shore Community College. Shout out to you. I never thought I'd go to college.
A lot of people go there, and it's that in Danvers, and it's really nice. Like I went there too, and you know we did. Even though I'm in recovery, I did the recovery coach. You know, I sat and did all those.
Did you feel that was much different than the actual experience you went through in your own life? Yeah, it's like a book that. Yeah, it's like I don't want to down it, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah,
right? It's the professional way to try to explain addiction, right? But until you go through it and actually, you know, it's different to me. But I respect them both. But it's just like you're just trying to tell me how to treat the addict in the business, it's opposed to why they're acting that way. You know, so I just learned it. I applied it when I had to, and just hey, I did it. You know, I furthered my education.
It's another certificate in education.
That's it.
Aspect under the belt that we have.
Right, and I apply it, right? Because it's a certificate. I take it, I own it, you know.
Same. You know. Haven't done really much with it, but.
Right. I mean, in the workplace, you're not supposed to really run it with feelings, you know? So I try to look at that too. Just, you know, they don't care about how I feel.
But that's hard though, because we're empaths. Like, we feel for people. And like, I feel like with recovery coaching, you can't, the way they say it is you can't have like you can have empathy. Okay, let me rephrase this before I get my head chopped off. You can have empathy, but you can't have a certain degree of empathy because now you're being unethical. So it's kind of hard because how do you balance like if you have a mom that has a new baby, you know, or a new mom, like, and they're suffering, how do you not get emotional?
Absolutely. And you do, no matter what is said to you. You know, for me personally, I have empathy and I try not to have sympathy because people want to be they want to be understood opposed to someone feeling bad for them because they just want to know, hey, this is valid, you know? So I did learn that actually it's more of empathy and not sympathy.
I like that.
Because I wouldn't want somebody, oh, here, I feel bad for you. No, I understand and it's normal. This is what you do. So that's what I learned in my course. You know, but you know, people don't like that feel bad for me shit, and it's almost a way of allowing them to continue the behavior. Hey, this is what it is. Just try to work through it and just be different. Don't stay stuck in that. You know, that's my biggest thing. Don't stay stuck in your shit because it's gonna come. Do something different that you haven't done.
I like that.
Get out of your comfortability.
So Blake and I talked about being uncomfortable. What did we say? get comfortable being uncomfortable to me. Is that it?
Yes, that's
those are the exact words.
That's a slogan that's been around in NA for a very long time. Stick and stay, and they sound corny, but they're true.
They are true.
One day at a time. Like for me, it's 1 minute at a time because I got split personalities. I might be cool one next minute and then something pops off. Now I have to apply all that recovery stuff in that moment. 24 hours is too long for me. Yeah. I have to stay in the day because I got a lot going on. I want to stay in the second.
I mean, come on, let's be for real. We have a lot going on in our lives. Yeah. Like, there's so much with our own lives and then the people that we care about, right? And the people that we care for. How do you not stay in the second and the moment?
Exactly. And shout out to Blake because he was the first person that made me get a service position. I did not want to do that.
Isn't he wonderful?
I love Blake. Him. That's my boy. He's known me since I had literally 30 days clean. Actually, yeah, because I had 30 days clean. I left CSS, got into Project Copeland. He was one of the first faces I seen at St. Stephen's, and he's like, "No, you're passing out key tags." What do you mean I'm passing out key tags?
Putting you to work.
Yeah. Shout out Vernetta. That was my first sponsor. Oh my God. She's been in my life for almost 12 years.
That's awesome.
That woman is like my mother in recovery. Like, I love that. I do one little thing. I'll get a phone call right now. If I do anything out of like the ordinary, if I post some negative stuff on Facebook, she will call me, like, take it down, figure it out.
See, but that's what people need, though. Like, my mother is kind of the same way, but, like, I wish I had outsiders that would, like, say that shit to me.
Yeah. I've had to cry in the beginning of my recovery. My feelings had to be hurt because if you're not being told the truth, you're not going to grow.
Absolutely.
You can't. And, I'm a sensitive person, so I was like, what do you mean?
I am too.
I'm doing that. All mad. I was mad my first year in recovery all the time. These people was telling me the truth about Ericka, but that's the mental health piece. Now that the drugs are gone, now you're stuck with your mental health.
True.
You know what I mean? Very so true. Now you got to figure out, like, why am I like this?
And then you got a second win in recovery. Right?
Yes.
Nice this little my book.
I like that, Marissa. Thank you.
I mean, look at this beautiful face on the front of this book. Like, come on.
Shout out to my fiance. He pushed me to write this book. I relived everything when I wrote this book.
I was just going to ask you, how did you feel writing this?
I went through so many emotions. I really had to lock in because I started from when I was a child, and a lot of my trauma was when I was a child. So and I started off, and I'm a very raw person. I don't hide. I don't sugarcoat. I'm just like, this is what happened. And like, you would see me at the table typing this up, and I would be crying. And then 1 minute I'd be laughing, and then I'd be sitting there like all sad. And I know they'd be like, what's wrong with her? Like,
you were just
being raw.
That's all right. Raw. You have to be vulnerable to be raw. You got to let it all out. And that's exactly what you did, is you spoke your truth in this book.
I did. I put everything in my book and it was also freeing. I almost felt like I shedded like a little bit of trauma.
Came off your shoulder.
Right. Like, yeah, I've been to therapy, the psychiatry, and shared at meetings for years. And I share the honest truth. I share the brutal truth, but when I put it in the book, it was almost like I like closed the chapter of that. In a weird way, I was praying while I was typing, like, God, like, let me heal this. Let me not, like, move crazy because I'm feeling this again. Or, like, God's very important, when you're, like, in the middle of your blessings, Because for me to write my book and tell the honest truth and say things I've never shared at meetings even, like, that was a blessing. It really was.
So you feel like writing this helped you heal?
Yeah.
But it's also going to help many other, I'm not even going to just say women, men heal too, because not for nothing, I know men have that alpha male, stereotypical type of vibe, but hey, I mean, they got to heal too.
Yeah. It's an honor because I've been called, like, you've helped me, Ericka, men and women, and it feels good to be able to just be like, yo, look, this is what it is. And then men, like, understand, too. Because it's not just about women. It's about everybody.
And having that soft side of understanding, we'll say, right, for men, does not mean you're weak by any means. Because you've got to understand where you're coming from. Hiding it, burying it, and putting it in the back burner is not going to let you heal. Everybody deserves the opportunity to heal.
Yeah.
Men
everybody,
and women.
Kids, everybody.
Kids
like,
too, yeah.
You know, like I've hurt my children, you know, because of my drug addiction, and I've had to like work on those relationships, you know, not with my son, but with my other 3 children, you know, and they've come into my life the past 3 years, you know, and they was a closed adoption. So for them to find me on social media and to have me in their life and tell me what they got going on, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
How was that when they came back into your life?
I was an emotional wreck. I was scared. I was happy. I was fearful of like the questions. I think I was more of just like, oh my God, what are they going to ask me? Like, are they going to be like, you weren't there, you know? It was none of that, Marissa. Nothing.
So you got in your head about it all.
Oh my God, yeah.
You do what I do.
I was freaked out. I was, my fiance. Like, I feel bad for him because he walked me through all that. Like, I'm always there for everybody. I'm always the one people call when it's like, get me out of this. So for me to be in that situation, I like had not many to turn to. You know, I have Vernetta, I have Blake, but my fiance walked me through like all of that.
Yeah.
All of that.
And
like,
he sees what's behind closed doors. So what you're going through that Vernetta and Blake might not see.
Yes.
Or that anyone else might not see.
Yes.
Jonathan's seeing.
Yeah. He's feeling it with me. Like, this poor guy just got off work and I'm over here a mess and crying and feeling all these things. And he's got to walk me through like these feelings.
So how did the children feel about you writing a book?
So I was a little afraid about it because, well, they're proud of me, first of all. They are very proud, but I was afraid because I put everything out there, like everything I did. Including about them getting adopted. So, you know, and I'm very honest, they know what happened. You know, the drugs came first. I was young, you know, I was 19 years old. You know, I was a kid myself, and they were proud of me, you know. Me and my oldest daughter, like, we go at it sometimes. You know, she's 19 years old.
Yeah, you guys got reconnected and you met on Facebook, and I cried for you. Like, I'm a very, very emotional person, and I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. I'm like, just to see you guys reunited.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that was so scary and so happy. Like,
how did your youngest feel about that?
Justin was very jealous in the beginning. Like, you know, and he's
like,
strong.
I thought I was an only child.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he knew about it, like, before they even came.
See, I didn't know about my sister.
Really?
I'll tell you that story after.
Yeah.
So he knew.
I told him. So Justin, I tell everything to. Like, he's like, that is.
I like that though, because a lot of families don't do that.
No, I include him. I include him in everything. Nothing is a surprise to him, and that's not fair to him. You know, wake up one day, I have brothers and sisters. Like,
that's how I felt.
Yeah, like, I don't want him to feel like that. Like, you know, they're just as important as he is, but that's the one I raised. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the child I got that opportunity to raise. Right. So I'm trying to do it right now. You know, I'm like, bro, this is what's going on.
So he knows. He's good with it. He's fine. He gets along with them. Everyone's good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
I wish there was more stories like that, because I didn't find out about my sister, and I'm going to make this a long story short.
Yeah.
My grandmother had a picture of all the grandchildren on the wall, but the picture was taken before I was born. So I wasn't in the picture, but I knew everybody by name. And I kept saying, who is that girl? And a couple times they'd, take me away from the picture, or they would say, oh, come on, like, let's go in here. Or at one point, the picture came off the wall.
Oh, my God.
So I think they knew I was, like, inching towards, who the fuck is this girl? Like, and I was young, too, right? So I was like, all right, maybe it's a cousin that I've never seen before. Like, maybe someone's, like, maybe my uncle had a girlfriend or something, and it was their kid. They included them in the picture. I think I was probably 11 or 12. It took another family member in our family to pass away, and I was reading the obituary because I wanted to see, like, my cousin's names in it and everything. And I'm looking, and I says, what is a stepsister?
Oh, God.
And my mother looked at me and goes, never mind. And I'm like, never mind. Why? And then I said something. I was like, well, a step and half the same thing. Because I was young, mind you. I didn't understand. It wasn't, like, correlating to me.
Yeah.
And she says, no, a half is when it's your blood. A step is when you marry and there's other children. It becomes, like a family after the fact. And I said, oh, Well, do I have any half siblings? And when I tell you, my
Oh.
mother's face hit the ground so fast, and it's not even her child, it's my father's child. But they were hiding this deep, dark secret from me for so long. And it was crazy because he had nothing to do with her. And I think a lot of it did have to do with his addiction from
Oh,
when she was being,
wow.
brought up and things. Also, the dynamic of the mother and him, not getting along and stuff like that.
Right.
But I can for most certain tell you, even though he did provide for her, and I found out after as I got older, like he did pay child support and stuff.
Okay.
It wasn't the fact of that. I believe it was the mother, her family, and him and his issues. And she wasn't around. I did meet her though. I found her in Square One Mall.
Oh my
I
God.
knew her name. I knew what she looked like because they showed me pictures. And there was a picture that was up until a couple years before I had met her, so obviously she didn't change that much.
Right.
The way her name was spelled is very unique. So it's on a name tag in front of my face, and I'm like, "Are you?" So I don't want to say her name, but are you so and so? And she said, "Yeah, why?" And I said, and I'm like panicking as a young kid. I think we should like talk.
Yeah.
And she's looking at me. My poor mother's standing in like the hallway of Square One being like, holy fucking shit. Like my kid's really doing this right now. Like what is she doing? And my father had no idea I did it.
Oh my God.
I'm Mario's daughter. I'm your sister. And we connected for a couple months, but it wasn't the fact that there was a jealousy between us. Her story was we had nothing in common. I don't think that was the case. And I could see she did say to me, like, well, he raised you and not me. So that was the type of situation I was dealing with. Yeah. I so wish that I could be like your children and just be like all together and have a happy family because I wanted that outcome so bad. As soon as I heard I had a sister, I wanted to have my sister. Like, I wanted to be able to go get my nails done with her and like go to the gym and get coffee and like have that girl bond. And like, it just didn't work out that way. So to this day, I couldn't even tell you where she is now.
Wow. I can identify with that though, because on my dad's side, I'm the oldest, but I have a younger sister.
See, I'm the youngest.
And a younger brother that I didn't know about. And when I found out about that, I was angry because where were you for me? You know what I mean? And, we've rekindled now, but, that was a part of my addiction. You know what I'm saying? Of the abandonment and what do you mean you raised them and not me?
If I was 12, she was 22 when I first met her.
Wow. That's a long time. Yeah. We're a year apart, but still, that's hurtful. And it's like, what's up with that?
Yeah, I mean,
like, what's up with that?
I was like, no, be a straight shooter with me and tell me why you don't want to talk to me because I feel like it's not me. You just met me. It's got to be dad. Like, my father's a great man. Like, he really did reform and change his life, but like, I can't take away for the lost time between them and I can't make up for it. Right. And I can't change the hurt that maybe she feels because of whatever she might have been told or saw. Exactly. I can't do that. I can only go off of my experience. Just like I'm sure, Justin has a different experience than the older children. Like, we can't make up someone's mind, right? Right. And we can't change their feelings. And you know what? I hope she's well. I wish her well. I couldn't even tell you where the hell she is right now, but oh my, God bless her, and I hope she's all right. But it's a part of my life that a lot of people don't know I have a sister. Yeah. It's crazy because I showed someone a picture of us the last time we were together, and I was at my heaviest when we were in the picture.
You guys look alike?
Well, we did in that picture. We don't anymore. Sorry. Hilarious. We don't anymore. But see, I know that feeling. Like, I just wanted that sense of family. Right. It makes me happy that at least your children were able to do that. Like, all come together. Yeah. Be there for you. Accept you for you. They understand that, like, that was a rough time in your life. But look at you now. Like, this is a huge accomplishment. Everything else you've done is a huge accomplishment. But this right here, this is gold. Yeah. Like, this is huge.
That was, like, right. And I think, like, it was fear. It took me a long time to write that book. Because I would like start, or like I wouldn't know how to start it.
How long did it take to write it?
So once I locked in, it took 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's not a long book. It's not a huge book, but it's raw and it's what I went through. Like,
then you got to feel it all again. Too.
I felt
every time you read it, right?
I felt every bit of that.
See, I was typing something the other day, and it was about things that have happened in my life, and it's not for the use of a book or anything like that, but it had to be written out for something. Right. And I was losing my mind, crying, and my mother looked at me. She goes, what are you crying for? And I'm like, I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't even want to know at this point. But like, it was things I didn't even tell her that like, it almost scared me. Like that I went through it, and thankfully, like it's behind us, right? But like to relive it.
Right.
Reliving it's the hard part.
And I did. And it did. But it was almost in a good way, even though it felt bad at that moment. Like, it's just like, Ericka, like, just get your story out there. I've shared at many places, conventions, meetings. You know, I've done podcasts, interviews. But it's like when you're writing that down for the world to read, you know, it's different because you know you're going to get some judgmental, you know, feedback. You're going to get some inspiring feedback. But that's none of my business. And that's what I need to realize is like, we all got a story.
I want you to drop where we can find the book. Where can we find it?
I have them on hand. I have them on Shopify too, but I mail them out.
You mail them out.
Yeah. So
at the very end of the podcast, because I know you want Jonathan to come on for a little bit and share what he does with the community. So we're going to split up the podcast. This is going to be a 2-part for one episode.
Yeah.
At the very, very end, I'm going to have Tim put in the information so that we can have people, you know, where to be directed to purchase the book.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, babe.